Anti-government protests continue in Israel as public anger mounted over Netanyahu's handling of the pandemic. Protesters took to the streets in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv, calling for Netanyahu's resignation. Police were even seen using water cannons to disperse demonstrators who gathered in front of Netanyahu's residence in Jerusalem. Hit by high unemployment and the rising COVID-19 cases, Israelis have taken to the streets almost daily for the past 2 weeks. The protests come as Israel is now imposing renewed restrictions to quell a possible second wave of the disease. Israel has been recording more than 1,000 new coronavirus infections every day in recent weeks. Prime Minister Netanyahu even admitted that he reopened the economy too soon. In a bid to control public anger, Netanyahu also announced plans to send cash to all Israelis. The measure has now been slammed by experts who believe that Israel's economy needed targeted assistance and not a nationwide payout. While some protesters voiced frustration over the renewed lockdowns, others have blasted the government for failing to improve testing capacity ahead of this possible second wave. Netanyahu's rating also took a hit over his handling of the crisis. According to a poll by an Israeli think tank, only 29.5% of the public supports Netanyahu's coronavirus management. This is a record drop from his approval rating of 57.5% at the beginning of April. Public anger has also been compounded by corruption charges filed against Netanyahu. The Prime Minister went on trial in May for bribery, fraud and breach of trust, charges which he denies. The corruption trial resumes in Jerusalem today, although Netanyahu is not expected to appear personally in court.
All right, shalom, all praises, honor, glory go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone, peace and blessings to you fellow Akim out there pushing out this word in true sincerity, Shabbat Chanak, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. And the video that you just saw was a video of protests going on in the land of Israel. Okay, and I could have put more videos of different countries, rioting against the government, which we all experienced that out here in the States. There was a large influx, during the Black Lives Matter protests and also protests against the lockdown, which, the mainstream media, they're not really covering these things extensively. Things kind of died down. There's still protests going on, like in Portland, Oregon, and different places. Like I said earlier, the mainstream, they're not covering these things, but things sort of died down. But the narrative is now is the second wave. And now these governments are taking a more aggressive stance on the coronavirus and locking things back down further, which they have already started that. And it's affecting people's business and the way that they live, it's affecting their paycheck. People thought they would be able to go to work. People thought that they would be able to open up their business. But now, more shutdowns are actually manifesting. And we, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah, we know that this was what Esau Edom was going to do when he first announced this coronavirus. He talked about different waves. He talked about how the 1918, if I'm not mistaken, the Spanish flu, there was 3 waves, and they said that the second wave was the most aggressive and it killed the most people. You know, they talked about, you know, these viruses coming in waves, and nobody really picked up on that. Nobody really caught on that. But see, we're the watchmen of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, and the Lord, he reveals his secrets unto us, and he allows us to see these things before they happen. Okay, that's what a prophet does. He speaks things before they happen. Now, Esau Edom, he's preparing for the second wave, and he's scaring a lot of people, and he's locking down things. And he said, look, we opened up too soon. We regret we're opening up too soon. Now the coronavirus is spiking, you know, these different states like Texas, like Florida, like California, and it's overwhelming the medical field. OK, you see what he's trying to do. That this is nothing but witchcraft, because ultimately he wants to fulfill his new world order. Now, I'm only going to leave you through the Spirit, maybe a couple of scriptures, maybe 2 or 3. You know, I want to make this really quick. It is something on my spirit that I wanted to go into just really quickly. Like I said, I could have put more videos up or more protests going on, you know, which we should all be watching these things. We shouldn't be in the world as far, you know, our minds shouldn't be occupied in things of this world, but things to come. OK, so let me just bring out a couple of scriptures, maybe 2 or 3 scriptures, because the second wave and more sedition is going to come. OK, even on a higher level through the Spirit, because more and more people are going to be distraught. OK, more and more people are going to be mad and upset. And a lot of people don't believe that this thing is real. And they're going to protest these lockdowns. And that's exactly what's happening in these different countries. They're protesting the second lockdown. OK, because that's furthering destroying the economy. OK, and further destroying people's lives. This is Matthew 24 and 4 says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, or anointed, or the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. See, we're not troubled by none of these things happening. We're not troubled, nor are we deceived by Esau Edom, his witchcraft that he uses. You know, brothers, yesterday at the camp, we were watching a video, you know, mainstream media, you know, see what they were talking about the coronavirus. And they literally had mannequins. OK, they literally had mannequins. OK, and their face blurred out, acting like the hospital was overwhelmed. And we paused the video. We're like, those are mannequins. But this is the witchcraft that Esau Edom is using to scare the minds of the people and to further push out his agenda. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We know that the end ultimately is not yet until this man, he declares this new world order and he pushes this RFID microchip. And that's exactly what he's preparing to do. OK, this is why he's taking this aggressive stance, you know, using this pandemic. OK, and our people, they're basically they're falling for the trick. They're falling for the okie doke. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And we're seeing all these things happen. We're seeing all rumors of wars. We're seeing, you know, racial tensions happen. We're seeing nations come against America. And there shall be famines. It is not, you know, in the mainstream. Even in the mainstream media, they're speaking about biblical proportion famines. And they're all going to blame this on, you know, the coronavirus. OK, the coronavirus, these shutdowns, it messed up the supply chain. OK, these things are all systematically done. OK, because Esau Edom, he's going to push his agenda. But before he does that, he needs what? Chaos. OK, he needs chaos to pursue. He needs people to turn on each other. He needs famines. You know, people starving. 1 second. He needs total chaos in the streets and pestilences. He needs diseases. OK, so he can roll in his COVID pass. He can roll in his vaccines, and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, remind you, in the midst of all this, in the midst of Esau Edom doing all these things, a lot of these things are Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the wicked elites, actually doing these things. which that's Yahweh Shema Shai working through Esau Edom, which is his hand on the left hand side on the earth. And also Esau Edom, he wants to fulfill certain tasks, but Yahweh Shema Shai is making it hard for him. Okay, he's putting stumbling blocks in this man's way. Okay, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So we're in the beginning of sorrows, and it goes into a further more explanation there. I'm just going to end it off here in Second Ezra, because more sedition is coming. Okay, you have this these rent moratoriums that are about to be ended. Okay, people are going to go on rent strikes. They were already speaking about rent strikes when this pandemic first started. And what happened? Esau Edom, he threw more stimulus. Now there could be where Esau Edom, he'll throw more stimulus to calm things down, because if he didn't do that, it will be total anarchy out here in these streets. Okay, and a lot of these different countries they've actually given stimulus, to their citizens, which is nothing but a band-aid, to quiet down. But see, Esau Edom, he's not gonna be able to quiet these things down, because Yahweh Shema Shai is the one who's actually mustering the battle. He's maneuvering things. He's making things happen. Okay. So let me see where I want to start. I just want to go right into that sedition. It's up a little bit. 1 second. Okay, yeah, this is it right here. Second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Yeah, woe to the world. Okay, what does that woe mean? It means destruction. Okay, sorrow. Okay, heartbreak, confusion. Okay, people are already confused because they have so many things being thrown at them. Okay, Esau Edom, he's lying through his teeth, and he'll come back and say that that's not what that meant. This is what this meant. So many things are happening so quick that people can't, they can't sit down and, think these things over or look at these things. There's so much disinformation out there, and things are moving so quick that nobody knows what's going on, save the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shai. And we're here to give you the whole truth that's not filtered. Okay, he's also Esau Edom. He has a demonizing campaign that he already has in the workings against the Hebrew Israelites, because the Hebrew Israelite thing is getting too, it's getting too big. So he has to deal with that also. So there's so many different things that he has to deal with. He has to deal with these other nations turning against him. Okay, he has to deal with the prophets. He has to deal with the truth. He has to shut down the internet. Okay, what does the scripture say? In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So this man is in straits. And ultimately, he's going to come with great wrath, because he's losing the battle. He's losing the battle of the mind. Okay, the Israelites are going to wake up, whether he likes it, believes it or not. Okay. Now, 2/3, we know 2/3, they're going to be destroyed. You have a lot of Israelites that are going to be destroyed that know that they're Israelites. Okay. Yet this whole word is going to get out on a high level to where he's going to have to do something. Okay. And this truth is really the only thing that's in his way. Okay. Because this thing is a spiritual battle, and everybody else. Okay. People are combating, these things through a physical means. And Esau Edom, he has a blessing. His blessing is a sword. Okay. You can't beat this man through physical means. The only way to beat this man is through spiritual means. All right. And we're using spiritual weapons. Okay. We're yielding a spiritual sword. Okay. He yields a physical sword. Okay. But the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is a trillion times stronger than this man. Well, Yahweh Shema Shai is the one who set this man up to do all the things that he's doing. Okay. On the left hand side. Okay. And the Lord, he set us up on the right hand side to do what? To combat against this man, to fight, to struggle. Okay. Well, it was two nations that were in Rebecca's womb. And what were they doing? They were struggling within the womb. And that is actually taking place right now as we speak. Jacob and Esau. Esau, he has the fatness of the earth. He has the dew from heaven. Okay. He has the authority over the earth. and he has power in the sword. Okay, that's, and then we don't have, as far as physically, we don't have anything. We're a poor and afflicted, and also a small sanctuary. Okay, so it will look like that we are, losing, or we have no chance. Yet Yahweh Shema Shai, he deals with the underdog. Okay, and this was, and this great deliverance, and this the conquering, of this enemy. Okay, through the words that are written in the scriptures. Okay, that's going to bring great fame to Yahweh Shema Shai's name, and everybody's going to know who's done these things. Okay. That, you look at these poor Hispanics, blacks, so-called Native Americans, saying that they're the true Israelites, saying that, bringing the tribes waking back up, telling Esau, Edom that he's the wicked, that he's going to go down. Okay, nobody believes that. Why? Because we're poor. Why? Because we don't have any influence in this world. Yet the Lord, he's going to give us power. Okay, he's going to give us spiritual power. He's going to give us fame and glory, okay, in all the lands that we are put to shame. And it's going to be evident that the Lord is going to raise us up, okay, and set you Edomites down below us. All right, and you're going to finally realize that when we have you in chains, okay, and this is coming soon. So the sooner you get what your plan, which is really all the plan of Yahweh Shema Shai, the sooner we're going to enter into the kingdom. So we're dead set focused on the task at hand, okay? For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And we are already experienced, okay, similarities of this actually taking place, okay, during, this 3-4 months of this lockdown. Now, people have stood up and fought against each other in the past, yet there's so many different biblical prophecies that are taking place in these last days, which these are the last days, or simultaneously, where you cannot you can't, refute these things. Okay. These things are happening, whether you like it or believe it or not. For there shall be sedition among men. And we've been, seeing that. Okay. There's no time in history where there was a massive, rioting all around the world simultaneously. Okay. For the same cause. Okay. Or rioting and looting simultaneously all around the world for the same cause, okay, coming against the government, injustices against the people. Okay, so this is happening. And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And that's what that video was going into. They were protesting in front of, clashing in front of Netanyahu's, his residency. Okay, it's going to come a point, which has already happened, in different countries, South America. I want to say it was Ecuador, if I'm not mistaken, where they took out, it was one of the, government leaders, and they dragged her through the streets. And, I know out there in Ukraine, they were dumping different politicians in trash cans. And that's what the kings and princes are going into, is going into the leaders of, of the people. Okay, these politicians, these cops. You got Jakes fighting against cops. It's going to come a point where it's going to be all out, war. There's another video on RT with the cartel. They were all armed up, militarized. Okay, they're gonna and basically, speaking about going against the police, going against the powers to be. Okay, it says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning they're going to be able to do whatever they please. Okay, if they want to go and take over a city, like over there in Portland, which that's all staged, they're going to actually be able to do that. They're going to have power. Okay, in numbers, because the society is going to totally break down. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because there's going to be military outposts, military blockades. We already experienced some of that in different states here in the United States, where martial law was declared. Okay, a state of emergency was declared, and basically a curfew was issued for I want to say a couple of days, at least a week. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, that the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah, that's right. The pride of America. And I'm mainly speaking about America, but this is going to happen throughout the whole planet Earth, which people around the whole earth have been experiencing similarities, civil war taking place, which Esau, Edom, that goes back to Esau, Edom, him setting up coups. Okay, what else? Military groups breaking off. People killing each other, but that has never happened in America. So this is new territory for you Americans, and you're freaking out. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Yeah, all that love that everybody likes to speak about is going to be cutthroat. Yeah, the new trending word is love. Love beat hate, and good will destroy evil. Which all those things are true, but you don't understand them in their proper context. Okay, but it's gonna come a point where ain't nobody gonna have pity on anybody. All right, on their neighbor. It's gonna go into, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. The modern day sword is basically just a killing instrument. Okay, and there's the main sword is going to be that gun. Okay, you're going to see all these guns, pop up out of nowhere. And there's more guns in the United States than there are people. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. So the lack of bread meaning, let me just finish this. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Because not only is there going to be a famine, but there's going to be diseases. Not only is there going to be diseases, there's going to be riots. Okay. There's going to be natural disasters. Okay. Massive homelessness. So all these things are going to make people cutthroat. They're going to turn people against each other. To do what? To kill each other. Okay. So these are the things that are coming to the earth. Okay. So that second wave, expect the second wave and more sedition to come right after that. Okay. And, to the brothers, the few sisters that listen, continue to have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai, pray, fast if needed, and watch these videos and prepare your mind, because this is what's going to get us out of here is the stability, of our mind through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shai, understanding what he's doing. Okay. We're definitely in these last days. Yahweh Shai is coming back soon. Until next time, shalom to the elect.